Hey everybody, welcome back to Culz Book Reviews. Today, as you can probably tell, we are doing at least one of these books. I know this one has two in there, Wicked and Son of a Witch. But today we are only covering Wicked by Gregory Maguire. We did pick this one because we are going to be doing a deep dive on the movie that just came out, so if you stay tuned you'll see that here pretty soon. But I wanted to at least get into the source material, and I was definitely warned pre-hand. Nothing like the play, which I hadn't seen, and nothing like the movie. So I really wasn't sure what I was about to get into. But I did see this really nice copy at the Barnes & Noble. We'll definitely take a quick look at it and then get into my thoughts. So yeah, let's take a quick gander over the cover here. As you can see, a lot of detail put into the cover in green, which is standing out from that black background. We'll kind of look at it right there. Is what I'm guessing is their interpretation of the Emerald City. And then you got some like gears and like vines growing up. Some more gears on this side as well. And then you got the broom, which is like the Wicked Witch's broom. And then you got like a flower. Got another on both sides, more gears. And then you got the flying monkey up top there. And then at the top of the circle you see it says Wicked. And at the bottom it says Son of a Witch. Now the cover there is what you would see if you saw the Broadway poster. Glinda and Elphaba talking. And then you see the author's name, Gregory Maguire. And then on the side you get the witch's hat on the top. Wicked and Son of a Witch. And then some more of that design with the gear and the plants and stuff. And then Gregory Maguire and then the slippers. And then on the back is a clock with a dragon on top. This does play a key part in the book. Not really coming up in the movie. Also definitely for show, but it looks like gold. I'm guessing it's probably not the real gold like you see in the Authentic Life of Billy the Kid one from Easton Press, but who knows. It does give it a nice little flair. Just makes it look a little bit more for show. But like a lot of these, it also comes with this little bookmark, which I don't use. I use Goodreads, but it's really neat to have that nonetheless. Alright, so this one clocks in at 406 pages. Though, like I said, this book does collect 2, so you can see the remaining pages are all going to be that sequel book, Son of a Witch, which, if you look right here, you can see is the next part. So this one obviously is a chapter book, a lot of writing, though every once in a while, I think I just passed it, you'll get little drawings on the, kind of like, I don't want to call them chapters because each of these are broken up into chapters, but like different like mini books or different parts of Wicked. You get little pictures breaking it up. And as they break them up, you'll actually see up top little pictures so you know which part you are in as you're reading it. You can see it changed there, changed again. So nice little detail, a little extra to it. There's the beginning of Wicked, and then of course Son of a Witch. And then of course you get a map here, which is Oz, and kind of shows you all the different places that you will journey to in the book. Ooh, so what did I think of the book? First off, if we're going just by how it looks, Barnes & Noble does a fantastic job with these covers and this collection. They have quite a few different options you can pick from. I don't think we've picked any for the channel yet, though. I do have a few. So overall, in presentation at least, 10 out of 10. It looks really good. One that will display really well on your shelf. Looks really nice. That being said, how do I feel about the book itself? Well, this is, I was warned about some of the stuff I would come across when I was, diving into this one. I didn't know to what extent. Having read that James Dean Rebel book, which was a fictional, like, what-if scenario, like, what if James Dean hadn't died, definitely played well into fan fiction. I think this one falls kind of in line with that. Obviously, it's not written by L. Frank Baum, who wrote The Wizard of Oz. It was written many years later, obviously, well after he was dead, well after the movie had been produced. And it came as perhaps one of the first books to take the villain in a very well-known work and try to make them sympathetic. Did it work for me? I don't know, because I think the movie does it better as far as making Elphaba seem more sympathetic. I mean, this one, at times maybe, but at times really no one's likable in this book. Is kind of, I mean, every once in a while you'll get some characters that are likable, but they're not really in there, or they're likable at first, and as the story does its time jump, they just become unlikable, you know? This is also played off like this is like the true story of what happened, which, okay, but it really kind of throws out a lot of that Wizard of Oz timeline. So even if it is like a fan fiction, or it's like, I don't know, obviously it's not canonical, so its own little universe as far as at least this book was concerned. But there's many a times, like, say, in the movie, obviously we first meet the Wicked Witch after Dorothy comes to Oz. The house has killed the Witch of the East. That's where she gets the ruby slippers from, which, as we know, that was something made for the movie, just to show off their technical abilities with the colors. In the book and everything, it's silver in the original one. And because it has been, you know, kind of I think it's copyrighted by MGM, you'll see that every other interpretation's been silver slippers like they were originally. Side note, I'm getting distracted already. But that scene, you know, when Glinda comes down, they're talking, the witch, Dorothy, her, doesn't happen in this book. Elphaba doesn't meet Dorothy till she comes to the castle. Or at least, maybe there's that one part in the forest, maybe, because she kind of has, like, this, like, blackout spell where she doesn't know what happened. So maybe that scene's still in there. But she doesn't really have any communication with Dorothy until she comes to the castle. And if we're going into, like, obviously this is going to be spoilers, guys, so I apologize, but I'm going to have to talk about it to talk about the book. So in the movie, the witch lights the Scarecrow on fire when the four of them get there, you know. In this one, Scarecrow doesn't even get into the castle. Neither does the Tin Man. But it's just the Lion and Dorothy, and then in this scene, it's just Elphaba and her talking, and she accidentally lights herself on fire, and Dorothy throws the water there. And that's how she dies in this. She does die in the book, Wicked. I don't know what happens in Son of a Witch. Maybe it's retcon. I don't know. I know in the play, she lives. I'm guessing that's where they're going with the movie. Because the movie, after having read this, definitely seems that's where it's going off of is the play versus not going off at this. Some other things, I'm trying to think, because man, you know there's like a good story in there, and obviously they've been able to take those pieces and make it something with obviously the Broadway shows and the movie now, which is being well received by a lot of people. But this one just, at times, again, like I said, it reads like fan fiction, but it also reads like very edgy, try-hard kind of fan fiction. And I'm not trying to be mean, but like some of it just seems so dark and weird just for the sake of it. Like, does it even push the narrative? There's a scene in the Philosopher's Club, which I'm sure you guys know what scene I'm talking about. It doesn't push the story narrative ahead at all. One of the characters does die, I guess, because of what happened in there. A minor character, not like any of the major ones. But it just seemed like a scene that didn't need to be in there. The scene with, like, Tin Man just, like, chopping apart the dogs that Elphaba tries to stop Dorothy and them with was interesting. Again, it's led down this path where we're seeing either villains try to be portrayed sympathetically, which can work. It didn't in this book. But we're also, like, seeing, like, kind of these edgy, kind of like the Pooh-verse movies. These slashers made from, like, pretty much what counts like kids, came from a child's story, you know. Wizard of Oz, I get maybe it was the satire, political satire, whatever. But that's really what it was for. And, like, the book is so, it's very adult. So do not, and unfortunately got this out after Christmas. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, my kids like the movie, let's read the book. Don't. This is definitely for a mature audience. Depending on how old your kids are, yeah, if they're high teenagers, maybe, but not for small children, not at all. There's adult themes in here, and it also plays very different. Even if you're a fan of the play, this book plays different than that one. Fiyero dies pretty early, I'd say halfway maybe into this one, and Bach doesn't turn into the Tin Man as far as I was aware. It was someone else. Obviously, Fiyero's not the Scarecrow. The lion does seem to be, it's not confirmed, but does seem to be the lion still, that she like helped rescue. Yeah, there's just some weird choices. Obviously, the Philosopher's Club scene with the animals and the people and what they're doing. Like I said, it's adult, so I'm sure you can understand. It's a weird choice. And Fiyero goes and has like a child bride who he doesn't like, but he has kids with, who are all nasty. And he ends up having like an affair with Elphaba, who eventually has a kid that she never knew she had. And I'm sure that's who Son of a Witch is about. But at one point he almost dies, because Fiero's like actual kids like tricked him into going into this like well with a talking fish. It's weird. Elphaba, when she was a baby, has shark teeth. Not in the movie. That would have been. I'm actually kind of pro. Let's see what shark teeth Elphaba would have looked like. I don't know. It's weird. It's not as fan fiction-y, I suppose, as the James Dean one, and not as mean-spirited, because that one had like real people and killed off real people earlier than they actually died, and I was like, man, that feels really kind of just wrong in a way. This one, not real people, but it is a children's thing, and made kind of be senseless and dark, and the writing style at times just seems very flowery and just like just trying hard to be fancy and trying hard to, I don't know. Other times it's fine. Like at points, like it's not bad at points. The problem is it's not consistent in when it's not bad. And I think when it's not bad is some of the scenes and some of the things they took, and they're like, hey, let's use that, but let's drop this. Let's drop that. Let's add this. Let's add that. Let's maybe make some of the characters more likable. In this one, her dad's the wizard. He finds out at the end because he gets the elixir bottle, and then that's why he leaves. Because as well as he was going to get lynch mobbed, I suppose. It's like the old Wild West days where people are just like, man, they were mad, so they were going to lynch mob him or something. I don't know what I gave that James Dean book. I'm sure I gave it like a 4. So maybe this is like a 4.5. Maybe a 5. Like, at parts it wasn't bad. But man, it's just so weird for no reason at all. You gotta be a certain age to read it. Don't be giving this to your kids or nothing like that. Writing style's okay. Will I read at least Son of a Witch? Probably. I at least have it, so at some point, right? I know our plan is to do deep dives leading up to Wicked Part 2 on different Wizard of Oz stuff, so maybe at some point I'll be able to tie in Son of a Witch somewhere. But yeah, overall, I'm sure somebody will like it, but just didn't feel like my cup of tea. Did it completely like make me not want to read Son of a Witch? I can't say that, because maybe some of that is like, I want to see how just outrageously crazy that one gets. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's completely different. I didn't check to see how many years had gone between, so maybe things had changed. But yeah, it's something we did. Stay tuned. Like I said, we'll be doing our deep dive on Wicked. It'll be me, Nick, and David of Normal Voyages. I'm sure we will get into this book as well. I know Nick started to read it, as well as I already know David read it, and he'll be able to tell you what he thought, and we'll get a little bit more and maybe talk some more of the differences. It's just, yeah, not my cup of tea. I'll probably read Son of a Witch at some point just because, I have it. Might as well and see where it goes. There's 2 other books after that continue this storyline. And then with Wizard of Oz, there's so many. So, like I said, we'll be doing a lot more because we want to do some deep dives and just tie-ins moving towards that next movie. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I know that happened yesterday, so I hope you guys had a great day with family and friends or whatever you guys were up to. And yeah, if you guys have read Wicked, definitely let me know in the comments below what you thought. But until next time, guys, for more Culz book reviews, click that link to your left. For more about us here at Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe. And let us know, going into 2025, is there a book you want us to check out? Tell us in the comments below.